Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm so excited about this new series I'm about to start. I'm doing an adoption awareness series. This is part one of that series. So if you're interested in all that, stick around, hit that subscribe button. I would love to have you as a subscriber. We talk about adoption here. I do vlogs with my family. I would love to have you here with us. But this first video is why should you adopt? So as a part of adoption awareness, we want to recognize people that have the potential of adopting, of finding people that have that that special calling to be able to bring a child into their home. And it's not as difficult as it sounds to do that. Me and my husband, we adopted 4 children through the foster care system here in the United States, and we're not anything fancy, we're not anything special. We both don't have we don't have any degrees. We just both graduated from high school, so we're just simple people. We both work retail jobs, but we decided to adopt. And there's a lot of reasons why we personally adopt, but there's also a lot of reasons why other people adopt as well. And I'm going to go into that in this video a little bit here. The first thing I want to tell you guys is right now in the earth, there's 153 million orphans in the earth worldwide. The largest of them are in India and China and Asia, but 153 million guys. And so I was doing some statistic searching, and there's 173 million Christians in the United States. And if all the Christians in the United States, the families, just adopted a few children, it would eliminate this orphan crisis. And these children have parents. That's talk about making an influence in the world, guys. Making an impact on the earth is giving children without a home. And I believe that we have that ability to do that. And you don't have to be anything special to do those things. And so that's what I just wanted to come on here and encourage you guys to do. So here's a few reasons why we decided to adopt. When I was a little girl, I always played with the black dolls. Growing up, my mom got me a Walker doll growing up, and there was a defect to it, the arm broke off or something like that. So we took it back to the store, and she showed me the Walker doll. She's like, okay, if you want a different one, you can. And I was gravitated towards one that didn't look like me. She was she had dark hair, dark skin. She was beautiful. And I loved that Walker doll so much. And I thought it was so fun. My mom, during that time, she thought it was really interesting. She kind of took note of it. And we talk about it sometime, even to this day, that I was gravitated towards the children that don't look like me, to different cultures, to different races. And so that's one reason why you could adopt, that you just want different ethnicity in your home. You want different races. You want to have a family with mixed culture. That's an okay reason to adopt, for sure. Another reason why we decided to adopt is because of religious reasons. We just felt called by God to take care of orphans and widows. It's in the Bible. It's in James, in the Bible, in that book. And it's like a commandment. It's something that's not religious that you can do. You can do this as much as you want, and wouldn't be considered religious is taking care of orphans and widows. So how cool is that? So something that you can do religiously is take care of orphans. So I like that. I can obey that. That's good. So also we have spent time overseas in the Ukraine, and I also spent time in Africa and in Mozambique, not Africa, but just in Africa. But we spent time overseas, and we saw orphans, and we saw how they live, and we saw how they needed. I've seen teenage girls in Ukraine beg me to be their mom, and I was maybe 5 years older than them, begging me to take them home to the United States and to be their mom. And you just can't walk away from that and not be changed. You can't think okay, I'm just gonna go on with my life and live this way. And actually, when my husband asked me to marry him, he also spent time with orphans. I said to him, if you're gonna marry me, we're gonna adopt, and you gotta be okay with that. And he said, yes, I want to adopt too. So it was a stipulation when we got married, we're gonna adopt a child, this is gonna happen. And so this has been a hurt for our whole entire marriage. And so when we got married, we actually found out shortly after we had infertility issues too. So it was kind of we already knew we were going to adopt and all these things, so it didn't really devastate us. But that's another reason why people adopt. Let's bring that up. People adopt because they physically can't have children, and that's how they can build a family with children in it, is through adoption and through helping another mom with that. So I think that's a great reason to adopt, is if you struggle with infertility. I hate when people ask me, when are you gonna have your own children? And like in my mind, like, these are my own children. Like, if you look at me and like with them and we're together, like, they're my own. We are together. That just because we're not biological doesn't mean they're not mine. So that's a good reason to adopt. It feels the same. I know it's hard to believe that. I love them just as much as my nieces and nephews, you know, like I have biological nieces and nephews and I love them and I care about them. I understand like that bond that you can have with a child biologically, but like adoption's the same way, guys. When I met them the first time, it felt like the same way as I met like one of my nieces and nephews for the first time. It's just magical and like beautiful and the monumental, and you know, you have your adoption story, you have your birth story. It's still good. You're not missing out on anything, and you don't get stretch marks. So positive there. And I don't know how a child fits out of you. I watched both my sisters give birth. That's crazy. Happy for them. Different subject. So also another good reason to adopt. I've had the pleasure of being able to tell moms about, I was just told Chad, I told 4 mothers through a series of events that I would adopt their child over them getting an abortion. And the moms chose not to get an abortion and decided to raise their children. So I thought that was amazing. And their children are amazing, and they're amazing mothers, and they're doing a great job. But it does help people make that decision, like, okay, my child is wanted, it's needed. People would be blessed by this child. Maybe someday we will get a child that was from birth, that's a new birth. And that's an excellent reason why you would want to adopt too, to prevent abortions. And so that those moms can do other things with their life. I actually love biological moms that do that. They're probably the most bravest people on the earth, because they gave up something so precious so that makes somebody else so happy, so they could have their own baby of their own, their baby of their own. So that's a really good reason why to adopt. Some other good reasons why to adopt is it's some people say it's good for the environment. It's population control. I hate that reason, but that is some people think that's a good reason. So it's good for the environment. And then other reasons is people just want to adopt. They just want to. They prefer it. They prefer having older children. Me and Chad, we actually do prefer to have older children than babies. We just aren't as good with babies. I like to sleep, you know? So I like to have a child that's older. So there's just multiple reasons. And I can't think of any other way that you can make as much difference in a human being's life than to adopt them, to bring them into your family, to give them a home. When the judge told us that, you know, when we're in the courtroom, it's like a wedding, you know, when you adopt your child, and he says to you, will you treat this child the same as your own biological children? Letting them inherit everything that you have, giving them everything you have. Like, that is something that you can do for that child that no one else can. You can bring them into a family and you can give them everything you have. Like, how can you not share like the love of God with someone more than that way? How could you love on someone more than to bring them into your own family and to literally adopt them into your own family? So it's just beautiful. It's holy. I can't say so many things, like, it's so good. I love adoption so much. It's completely changed my life. It changed me as a person. It made me less selfless. It made me more selfless. Right? That's what I said, not less selfless. So I really highly recommend adoption. So anyways, if you guys have a different reason of why you adopted, why don't you leave those in the comments below? I would love to hear them. I love hearing about adoption. I just love to hear from you guys as well. And so in the next video, we're going to be talking about the different ways you can adopt. So stick around for that, and we'll see you next time. Bye.